The Book of True Life, Teaching 61 of 366. The Master teaches, Dawn of a New Age and Faith in the True Power of Love. Divine Revelations, Mexico, from 1866 to 1950. The Lord says, as my divine ray of light descends upon you, the angels unite with your spirits in prayer and worship of the Father. The fear of my justice has kindled the fervor of this people, upon beholding the forces of nature being unleashed during these days of trial. Why do you despair? Have I not taught you to pray and brace yourselves with faith? Remember that the forces of nature put the fulfillment of the prophecies of times past on full display. If it has been decided for you to witness and experience these events, then do not be frightened of the will of your Father, for everything serves to purify you. To each and every one of you I entrust a certain number of hearts, so you may guide them with your words and examples. Though should you falter during your trials, what trust in regards to my teaching would you then be able to inspire your brethren with? Among those who follow you are hearts of stone, and those you will only be able to move and convert to my doctrine through your good works. Live vigilantly, be sensitive and delicate, for at every turn I will send to you someone in need, and you must not pass by him without feeling his destitution. Even those whom you will see only once in your life belong to the flock that was entrusted to you, and they will recognize you in the beyond. Do not gaze upon scenes of suffering merely out of curiosity. Be always inspired by the most noble of sentiments, so your deeds may express true brotherly love and bring hope to your fellows. Do not avoid hospitals, and do not be horrified by the leper, the cripple, or one affected by a contagious disease. Do not look upon a prison with contempt or repulsion, and do not pass by it without praying for those within. With love, extend your hand towards those who have fallen, those who have been forgotten by mankind. How much good you will do to their spirits. Steel your hearts for the coming battle. I do not wish there to be weak soldiers among my ranks. Your presence along the paths of your brethren can mean for them salvation, liberation, health, and peace. Soon I will conclude my word among you, and those who refuse to carry it within their hearts must be prepared for pain to purify them. How could they give testimony of my new manifestation if they are not prepared? During the second era, my word spoke through the child Jesus to the teachers of the law, their lips silenced by my questions, astounding them with my answers. Truly, I tell you, during this era as well will my word reach the new teachers, theologians, and scholars, to question and answer them. For this you must prepare yourselves. I will send you forth to give testimony to mankind, and should men not believe you, then I will tell them. If you refuse to believe my messengers because of their poverty and humility, then believe them for the sake of their miracles. The deeds of my disciples shall be accompanied by signs in nature and the lives of the people, allowing mankind to ponder on the truth of my doctrine. I do not want the marked ones to return to the spiritual realm enveloped in darkness after their earthly journey has been completed. I wish to receive them full of light, strength, and love, so thereafter I may send them down to earth in spirit, as an invisible army, clearing the path forward, liberating those who had been captured, and awakening those who live in ignorance, pride, and vices. What will become of those who, despite having received the mark of the Holy Spirit, present themselves without light and without any merits to speak of in the beyond? Will the Father send them out to be part of his legions of light? Or will he have them reincarnate once again, so they may cleanse themselves of their impurities? Truly, truly, I tell you, you cannot even imagine what times await mankind upon this earth, and do not demand to dwell in this world when those days arrive. Withdraw, withdraw from sin, for my sword of divine justice is coming to relentlessly destroy evil. I will assist those who fight for their salvation, and with my compassion will I support those who weep for the confusion of men. Yes, my people, there are men and women who are vigilant to remain in virtue and righteousness, and there are parents who pray for their children to not deviate from the good path. I advise you to carry out a proper penance, leaving out nothing that is beneficial to the spirit and the body, liberating yourselves from all that is harmful, no matter how healthy and pleasant it may appear to you, even if this relinquishment means a sacrifice. Wherever you may go, leave a trail of love and mercy, so that whomever passes by will receive that light. This way you will certainly have taken your master as an example. Truly, I tell you, one of the most profound imprints you may leave in the hearts of your brethren is forgiveness of past offenses. Your heart has opened in humility to confess its faults to the Lord, and I, upon whom all offenses fall back, grant you my forgiveness in the form of a gentle breeze of peace, calming your spirit and filling your heart with hope. What more can your spirit wish for in the exile it finds itself in? The Father speaks to you from his kingdom. Mary covers you with her mantle, and Elijah watches over you. Learn to appreciate the grace that has been granted to you. Behold, the book of true life, its pages opened before your very eyes, so you will not walk in darkness. Because I endowed you with a spirit, it is only most natural and just that I may teach it more than whatever nature could offer it. A spirit must not live in ignorance within my creation, for it is superior to everything that surrounds it. I thirst not only for your love, but for your understanding as well. Accept the trials and vicissitudes of life with spiritual elevation, so they may be beneficial for your spirit. For truly, I tell you, through them you will come to clearly understand the many teachings of your Father. Accept your destiny. Be satisfied with what you have. Have patience. Why do you lose your calm on occasion and despair? Because you forget from whence you came, as well as the debts you must pay. Allow your spirit to understand, so it may be content with its restitution, for then you will feel the light entering your inner self, pervading you with hope, strength, and happiness. Understand that it was not my will for you to cry, nor does it please me to see tears in your eyes. But your spirit had arrived on this earth without blemish, and upon seeing how it has tainted itself with the sins of the world, I allowed it to purify itself, so it might return to me. Should the ignorant curse my justice, and the weak perish, then they will be forgiven. But you who have listened to this word, you who have received this law, you cannot despair or blaspheme, unless you extinguish the light of your faith and fall into confusion. Do you not believe that, should you go astray in this manner, you would be staining this white sheet I have granted you? Or you would cast away this bread I offered you with so much love? Do not grow weary, do not fall ill once again, and do not allow anyone to deprive you of the gifts I am teaching you to develop. Make use of the teachings and the strength I give you, so you may transform bitterness and suffering into peace and love. Should discord reign in your home, then it must be that you have failed to put my lessons of love into practice. As long as you listen to me, you feel secure, but as soon as you leave the gathering places, you feel besieged with temptation, and in many different ways. Tell me, is it I who tempts you, who makes you fall, who wishes for you to fall to ruin? Disciples, when I allow temptations to exist, may you use them as trials for yourselves. It is your mission to resist them in faith, until you have transformed darkness into light. When I place those who have made mistakes along your path, I did not do so to make you fall, but for you to save them. Pray in realization that you are living in times of spiritual battle, and you must fulfill the commandment that tells you, love one another. Be active, do not sleep. Or do you wish to wait for persecution to catch you off guard as you slumber? Do you want to fall into idolatry once more? Will you wait for foreign doctrines to be impressed upon you by force or fear? Be on the alert, because false prophets will emerge from the east, seeking to confuse the people. Be united, so your voice may resound throughout the entire world and alert mankind in time. To assist you in your unification, I manifest my presence among you in many different forms, to make you understand the times you are living in. But how few are those who feel my presence and say, "It is the Lord." Men slumber in spirit. You who hear me have awakened, and yet you still have not set out to awaken all the others. From within these humble gathering places will the new message for mankind emerge. Therefrom the multitude shall surge, carrying upon their lips the testimony of their regeneration and their spiritual progress. How impoverished these houses of prayer might appear in a material sense, but their greatness is revealed in their spiritual nature. These gathering places, wherein you have received this my word, are akin to a mighty and densely leafed tree, whose shade has been quite healthful. Their presence have instilled peace and confidence, and their fruits have nourished you. They have granted shelter to the adulterer, the child murderer, the one steeped in vices, the sick, those who have soiled their hands with the blood of their fellow men, the destitute, those who hunger for love. All have shed tears, prayers have been sent on high, and words of gratitude have been heard. Step by step, through tears and prayers, have these people cleansed themselves within these houses of prayer. Now humanity purifies itself amidst great afflictions. War has spread its influence across the whole world, and the weak man has yielded. Today, veritable rivers of blood flow. Nations rise against one another. Mothers even urge their sons to join the war effort. The inevitable consequences will follow: pestilence, hunger, and death. Not one place will be spared from destruction. Rare diseases will emerge. Leprosy will be widespread, as well as blindness. The heat of the sun will feel like fire upon the skin. The fertile fields of yesterday will be barren, and the waters will be contaminated. Hence why you must prepare yourselves, for my signs will not suffice for you to be saved. How many not belonging to my marked ones, to my chosen ones, will find the road to salvation? Watch and pray. Truly, I say to you, just as you hear my word upon this earth via the faculty of a human mind, thus is it heard among other worlds as well, though through different channels and by other means. However, those miracles you will only come to know once you enter the spiritual life. Who has not felt uneasiness concerning the life in the beyond? Who among those who have lost someone dear to them in this world has not yearned to see them again, or at least know where they are now? You will come to know all of this, and you will see them again. However, before that, earn merits, so that when you leave this earth and enter the spiritual valley, asking where those whom you expect to find are, you will not be told that you cannot see them, because they dwell on a higher level. Do not forget that I told you long ago, in the house of the Father there are many mansions. Eat the bread of my word, so that sorrow and pain may pass from your heart, and you will receive a premonition of the eternal life. I grant you a little of that peace. Hear me once again, and expunge from your mind the wicked thoughts the world inspires. For then you will be adequately prepared to dive into the spiritual teachings I am revealing to you. Right now, during this moment of your spiritual elevation, as you strive to compose yourselves within the depths of your heart, the passions of the flesh are reflected in your spirit. When will you allow the beauty of the Spirit and its characteristics to be abundantly reflected in your body? Cleanse yourselves, so you may feel me. Set aside your materialism little by little. Leave behind the false idols inhabiting all unhealthy pleasures, all vanities and superfluous ambitions. Master your passions which seek to tempt you, and speak to them as Christ did in the wilderness. Do not tempt your Lord, for it is him you shall worship. I also remind you that I taught you to offer tribute to God, as well as to the emperor, for I see that you offer all of it solely to the emperor. Examine yourselves for a moment each and every day, for the hour inexorably approaches when you will hear my voice, calling you to judgment, and then must your spirit account for himself and his physical body. Do not fear me during that hour, for I am not unjust. Instead, fear yourselves. Here on earth I have shown you quite plainly that I am your benefactor, and I love and forgive you. So do you believe, upon entering the spiritual life, you will find that I have changed? I eagerly search for and follow you. I speak to you, and even descend myself to where you are. And this is because I do not wish for you to lose yourselves amidst eternity when you leave this world. I do not wish for you to remain without light. You search for me but fail to find me. That, despite being oh so close to you, you will nonetheless feel me distant, and that you can neither hear nor see me. Hear my lessons and put them into practice. Blessed are those of you who live among hardships, vicissitudes, and bitterness, but nonetheless intercede for those who weep, forgetting themselves and praying for peace among the nations. Those who do as such will discover the path of light leading to the realm of perfection, and during the hour of their judgment, their burden will be light indeed. I lavish your spirit with blessings, so that even the destitute, lamenting the fact he could not practice compassion, having nothing to give, may realize that he possesses inexhaustible wealth in spirit. I speak to you by a means most worthy of my divinity, man himself. And truly, I tell you, this communication has never been interrupted. I am the eternal Word, always conversing with my dearly beloved children, in times past, today, and forevermore. The more oppressive the darkness of this world, the more intense the light that I convey, so mankind may recognize the true path. If you were already prepared, how much would you rejoice, feeling my presence at every step, in every being, no matter where you go? You would feel me within your heart. You would hear me within your spirit. You would recognize me within all my works, even within the most insignificant. Today, mankind exclaims, "My God, how dark and obscure are the paths of this life," without realizing that Elijah, the envoy of the third era, has illuminated the paths with my light, upon which you will clearly recognize the traces of my blood. My kingdom is opposed to your kingdom. I have risen to battle against the world. But may none of you be distraught, for my sword is made of love, and my legions are armed with peace and light. The enemies of my kingdom will be felled by the universal might of love. However, not my children are the enemy. No, rather it is their imperfections, their disobedience, their sins, and I shall make these things disappear. How am I to employ your own weapons of hatred and death to exterminate you? Could I annihilate my own children? Is this even conceivable for God? Truly, I tell you, behold your king, without crown, scepter, or mantle. Examine my word, judge me through it if you so wish. I tell you, my kingdom has drawn closer to you during this time, teaching you to communicate with your Father from spirit to spirit. You are the wanderers permitted to behold the New Jerusalem, the white, luminous city nowhere to be found here on earth, because it is spiritual. Carry on, persevere in faith, journey along the path of bitterness and vicissitudes, until you reach the great gates where you may see me. There I will receive you and show you the splendor of my kingdom, the power of my glory. To assist you in your travels, I offer you my staff of love. Today you seek my word to strengthen your spirit, because you realize that it is a propitious time to set out on the path of spiritualization. Each man carries the path traced within his heart. He must merely wish to find it. My love has revealed its might to all my children, and my light has left no one in the dark. Thousands upon thousands of beings live in fear and desperation, but the time shall come when you will see them arising to the light, for their pain has led them towards the path of eternal life. My light descends upon mankind as divine inspiration, but that is when doubt surges within men, and they refuse to believe that it is the voice of the Lord calling for them, because they have yet to understand the times they live in. My seed of love, truth, mercy, health, and peace is destined for all who wish to sow it. You who hear my word through the faculty of the human mind, you are not the only ones receiving spiritual messages. I know the whereabouts of others of my new disciples, those who prepare themselves with love to receive my divine thoughts through inspiration. Intuitively they know what time this is. Know that I did not grant everyone the grace of receiving my light, or that of the spiritual world through the human mind. Some have been prepared in one way, others in another. However, all of them will coincide in the one and only truth. They will recognize one another in their spiritualization, their works of love, and the mercy towards their brethren. Mankind would very much like to be visited by a new Messiah, one who would save them from the abyss, or at least to hear the voice of God as if emerging from the mouth of a man, echoing along the winds. But I tell you this, it would suffice for you to pay a little attention, or to collect your spirit in meditation, to grant it sensitivity, in order for you to perceive how everything speaks to you. If you think it impossible for the stones to speak, I tell you, not only the stones, but everything surrounding you speaks to you of your Creator, so you might awaken from your dreams of grandeur, pride, and materialism. This is the twilight of an era, and the advent of a new time. The light of dawn appears already, even if the shadows of the night have not yet dissipated. The miracle appears before your very eyes, and still you do not anticipate it, for your heart has become stone. How will you enter the silence within, if you have not as of yet repented for your transgressions? You have grown accustomed to the wickedness and vices surrounding you. You consider murder, dishonor, and adultery something natural. You combat virtue, and at the same time obfuscate vice, to make yourselves appear pure in the eyes of your fellows. Truly, I tell you, mankind will discover the path to the light, leading out of this darkness. However, this will be a gradual endeavor. For what would become of man if he were to instantly recognize all of the evil he has committed? Some would lose their minds, while others would take their own lives. My people, wait not until you find yourselves in the great beyond to pull yourselves together and convey the news of my manifestation among you to the world. This message shall reach the hearts of men, and that will be the beginning of their spiritualization. When men have renewed themselves, they will sense my presence and love within their hearts. Oh, my little children, you cannot even imagine the divine longing with which I approach your hearts. I come to converse with you, to delight in seeing you around my table. Since you have not yet learned to elevate yourselves to me, I shall descend to you. Never will I cease to love you. Never will I tire of tenderly contemplating you. This form, hearing me through a human interpreter, will end, and the hour will sound when the Father shall ring the bell, calling you to congregate and listen to this word for the last time. The year 1950 approaches, whereafter you will cease to hear me in this manner. Do not believe that, after the echo of the final stroke of the bell has subsided, this people will rest. On the contrary, that will be the true beginning of your struggle, of the great task you are about to undertake. Today you are like my disciples of the second era, surrounding the Master, listening to his doctrine and observing his works. It was the Master who spoke to the multitudes, who performed miracles among the needy, who guided, corrected, and defended them. But he had announced his departure to them, and they knew they would remain in the world, like sheep among wolves. Oh, how they feared that moment. And when it came, they remained on this earth, alone. However, the Master accompanied them from his kingdom. His Spirit encouraged them every step of the way, fulfilling every single one of his promises, without fail. why do you, who are aware of the fact that this form of my manifestation will end, await the year 1950 with indifference? Why do you, who tire already, believe that you may finally rest after that moment has passed? Keep in mind that today you are merely small children, beginners if you will, but you shall become masters. However, do not fear the fulfillment of your mission, for remember, back then, when I was among my disciples, they too were beginners in my doctrine. On a certain occasion, I said to Andrew, one of my 12 apostles, "Do you have faith in me?" "Yes, Master," he answered. "Do you believe that you may be able to heal the sick in my name?" "Yes, Lord, I believe I can do it." "Good," I said to him. "Set out on the road leading to Jericho, and upon it you will find one who has fallen ill. Heal him in my name, and bring me news thereof." Andrew embarked on his journey, and along the way he found the one who had fallen ill, a leper, and he said to him, "In the name of Christ, my Lord and Master, be healed." But the leper merely looked at him, sorrow in his eyes, for he did not feel any better. For a second and third time Andrew pronounced my name, but the leper would not recover. Deeply troubled, the disciple returned to me, and ruefully said to me, "Master, the one who had fallen ill has not been healed. He has not been cleansed from his leprosy. My faith in you has not been enough, but I have come to realize that what you do, we cannot do. Besides, the illness that man is afflicted with is incurable." That is when I said to him, "Andrew, follow me," and I brought him to where the one afflicted was, whom I simply touched with my hand, and said to him, "Be healed," and the leper was cleansed instantly. Both ashamed and amazed, Andrew asked me how this could be possible, and I answered him that the merciful love does wonders. Andrew was unable to do it because he doubted this power, and he was unwilling to touch the leper. And nevertheless, how many ill ones, including many a leper, my beloved disciple Andrew healed thereafter. I wish to make you understand that during this time of my proclamation, you are developing your gifts, and if you are to err, I shall correct you. However, the best of your fruits will come after you have listened to me. Nothing unfinished or incomplete shall the Spirit leave behind on this earth. That which I am telling you, only a few hear. Nevertheless, it will reach all hearts. Just as my word of the second era spread throughout the whole world, so too will the word of this time be a fertilizing rain for the seed I have sown. Do not believe you are the only means with which my law is made known to men, but it is necessary that you fulfill the mission that was entrusted to you, for you are part of my divine plans. Slander or humiliation shall not intimidate you. Envision the path your Lord traveled here on earth. I am the way, the truth, and the life. I am the gate. It is time for you to make my doctrine shine with your deeds, so my name may resound in the most concealed corners of the earth. Some will be forerunners for others, just as Elijah has been my forerunner throughout all times. If you travel along my path, you will not tire, nor will you come before me exhausted. Along this path I have poured out my light with this word I give you through the spokesman, a word you will soon cease to hear. Impress your footsteps deeply along this path, so that tomorrow the people will do you justice by considering you my good disciples, and so your example may serve as motivation for those yet to come. I await you in eternity, which is why it will never be too late to come to me. In my blood you will cleanse yourselves of all your blemishes. For what does my blood signify, if not my love? I shall see you dwelling in my bosom, upon the highest rung of the ladder of perfection, after you have crossed the arid and desolate wilderness of your restitution, after you have circumvented the pits of your passions, and after you have saved yourselves from the waves of a roaring sea. Pain and struggle will be no more, and finally will you reach home, the place where true peace dwells, a joy the likes of which the human heart has never known, where the light of eternal wisdom shines brilliantly. My peace be with you.